Hi. Now that we're just about to move into level two lockdown, I thought it was a good opportunity just to touch base and talk a little bit about some of the changes at this level two compared to previous level two, in light of the fact that we're dealing with the Delta COVID as opposed to the previous strains. And I think we probably knew in our hearts that they were going to be slightly more stringent than the previous ones, and obviously that's come to pass. So there are three things I really want to highlight about this level two compared to previous level two, and I'm not going to go into detail about all of the rules and regulations around operating and running a business, living life at level two. There's a lot of information on the link below in the covid.gov.nz website, so I certainly don't want to just talk through that. But I did want to highlight three things that are quite different and will, in the context of the impact that they're going to have on some of our local businesses, but probably most specifically in hospitality and some service industries. So the first thing is the limitation on the number of people that you can have on premises. This lockdown level two means you can only have a maximum of 50 people inside. Now this is different to last time when we could have 100 people. Businesses could have 100 people. So clearly that's quite an imposition on a business. You can have up to 100 people in a designated outside area that's quite separate from the inside area, but obviously not all businesses have an outside area to play with. So for some, they are going to be restricted to 50. It's also the case that inside everybody will have to remain seated as previously, and people will come and serve at your table. The difference this time is that everybody has to wear a mask. And mask wearing has become mandatory in all public places. So everybody who's working in a gym, obviously in supermarkets, in hospitality, anywhere where the public come on premises, you need to wear a mask. And the people coming onto as a customer also, you need to wear a mask. So that's quite a different a departure from, or an addition, I should say, not a departure, an addition to last time. And that's mandatory for everybody age 12 and over. So if you're thinking about, going to your local favorite cafe, or restaurant, please just remember that, they're operating in quite a different way. And while some are used to table service, some are not. And while they did it last time in level two, this time they're doing it again, but with less patronage. So, financially, that can also be a real stress for some businesses. Having said that, everybody I've spoken to is really happy to be opening and really wanting to be able to get back to doing what they do really well, which is giving you and the customer a great experience. So it's really just remembering that actually people are operating quite differently, and please just be patient. So I've touched on mask wearing, the numbers of people allowed inside. The other thing that's changed this time is the mandatory requirement for people to sign in. Now this is generally through scanning a QR code, but businesses are now also obliged to provide an alternative to a QR code. Not everybody has a smartphone, and not everybody wants to use the QR code. So now businesses also have to legally are required to provide an alternative. And a number I've spoken to are opting for a ballot box type of signing in option, whereby people can put their name and contact details on a slip of paper and put it inside a box, because not everybody wants to have their name and number out there for the whole world to see. So it's another option. So if you happen to go onto premises, onto a business, anywhere where you might visit and there is not a QR code, please let the business owners or managers or employees know, because legally they need to have one and you absolutely have to sign in. The onus for ensuring that people do sign in sits with the business owner, so they are going to be on this, but just in case they're not, please remember that obligation. So they were the three things I really wanted to touch on. So basically restrictions on numbers, which is going to make business a little bit tricky for some people. But as I said, people are very happy to be open. Everybody has to wear a mask, and mandatory signing in. The other thing I will just mention is a reminder to please, if you haven't already, consider getting a vaccine. We know that this is also a really important tool in the fight against COVID, which ultimately is a really strong tool in the fight against or in the battle to help businesses get back on their feet. And so if you haven't, please consider one of the drop-in clinics or go online and book your appointment. And employers, if you are able to give employees time during the day if they need to go and have a vaccine, please consider doing that as well. And they were the main things I wanted to talk about. I did also want to mention that excitingly, this week we have put tickets on sale for this year's Business Awards. You may remember that we didn't hold them last year for the usual obvious COVID reasons, but this year we are full steam ahead. So the awards are scheduled for Friday the 5th of November. at the Rutherford Hotel. We do have an alternative postponement date locked in for early next year, but we're really determined and hopeful that we won't have to use that. We're being thoroughly optimistic. As usual with these sorts of events, tickets, the capacity is limited. So if you want to go, please make sure that you click on the link below and book your tickets. And we're also really pleased to see a number of really exciting businesses who are making the step to enter the Business Awards. We don't know who everybody is yet because entries don't close until about another 3 weeks. And typically people don't actually enter until right at the last second. But we do know of some that have already committed, so that's really exciting. So we're really hopeful of having a really strong competition with some exciting businesses and topped off by a wonderful gala dinner at the Rutherford Hotel. So that was all I wanted to say, and I hope the transition to level 2 is going smoothly for you. And if you've got any questions at all, please don't hesitate to get in touch. That's what we're here for, to help with anything at all. We've got resources that we can provide you with and certainly connect you with people across a whole range of business advice support, from business continuity through to mental health and well-being. So please don't hesitate to get in touch if you need anything at all, and look forward to seeing you all very soon. Thank you.